Hi everyone, I'm Beth Marchant, Chair of the Gender Studies Department at UCLA. It's my privilege on behalf of our faculty and staff to welcome you to this first ever and hopefully last virtual celebration of our outstanding graduates in the Department of Gender Studies. We're so disappointed that we can't congratulate you in person, and we miss you very much. We hope you're safe and well and finding joyful ways to celebrate your accomplishments. We invite you to come back to campus to join us for commencement next year. You should be especially proud that on top of all the academic hurdles you've faced, you've overcome the additional challenges posed by the pandemic and the racialized violence our country is experiencing in the wake of the police murders of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and so many others. I'm confident that your training as feminists has both strengthened you as individuals and shown you the power of collective action and collaborative work that can make positive change and enhance our prospects for thriving in the future. You've assembled and honed a set of skills that will serve you well whenever you're called upon to think critically, to consider an issue from multiple perspectives, or to construct arguments supported by research. You have a deep appreciation for the complexities of power and asymmetries in gender relations across time, class, and cultures, and you've learned to apply your knowledge for social transformation. As gender studies majors, you're prepared for a great variety of careers, adventures, and challenges. Some of you are moving on to seek advanced degrees and work in fields including law and law enforcement, counseling, music performance, clinical psychology, public relations, human resources, social work, public affairs, land management, ecology, nursing, journalism, and medicine. You're an incredibly diverse and talented group with wide-ranging interests and backgrounds. Many of you have faced daunting challenges and overcome numerous hardships on your way to this achievement. Some of you are immigrants. A large number of you are the first in your families to earn a bachelor's degree. The department's congratulations go out to each one of you. We're honored to have accompanied you on this journey. I'd like to take a moment now to recognize and sincerely thank our brilliant department staff. These past few months have pushed them to work at maximum effort in less than ideal conditions, and they've selflessly supported all of us, doing so with grace and good humor. So thank you to Jenna Miller-Von Ah, our department manager and graduate student advisor, Vanda Wen, our financial manager, Richard Medrano, our administrative coordinator, Elliot Delgado, our academic personnel coordinator, and finally to someone who is well known to all of you graduates, our student affairs officer, Samantha Hogan. The Gender Studies faculty are proud to work with our department staff and understand now more than ever how fortunate we are to be their colleagues.
Now more than ever, it is important to recognize the settler structures that have brought us to this particular moment in time. In California, the mass enslavement, the sexual violence, the killing and theft of indigenous peoples was the first looting under the settler state. Indigenous life, water, and land were stolen under these new property regimes. This violence still reverberates through the city, through Tvångner, as we stand and witness these events. Gender Studies, as you all know, is a department that not just acknowledges the TOMVA or structural racism, but we, all of you, are committed change makers. Our faculty, our students push forward a more just future. We must look forward to a time where property is not more important than Black lives. We must fight for a time when Indigenous people are not expendable during a pandemic or any other time. As you all graduate and go out into this world that's of fire and a bit of uncertainty, remember that you have the tools to solidify our relationships, to conduct outreach across constructed borders and boundaries, and you have the tools for a thoughtful and respectful organizing. One of those tools for me is Indigenous protocols, in which we introduce ourselves to our political lineages, where we stand. At UCLA, we look to ourselves to hold ourselves accountable to how we have come to this moment and acknowledge that the Tonva people are the original land caretakers of Tavanga, the Los Angeles Basin. And we are grateful to have the opportunity to work on behalf of the Thraktam Indigenous peoples in this place. As a land grant institution, a mechanism and tool of land theft and property regimes, we pay our respects to the Honikvatam, the ancestors, the Ahiram, the elders, and the Ohinkam, our relatives and relations, past, present, and emerging. For the elders who I worked with to construct this land acknowledgement, it was utmost important to them to not just have a focus on loss and theft and violence, but they wanted a focus on an emerging future, a future that they saw all UCLA students as part of. They saw that you could bring forth a more just future. So with that, I want to say congratulations, graduates of 2020, and as you go forth, Nyahweh, for all those changes you will make in the world.
Peace, no justice, no peace, no justice, no...
Hello everyone. On behalf of the class of 2020, I'd like to welcome faculty, staff, friends, family, and distinguished guests to UCLA Gender Studies' first ever virtual commencement ceremony. To my fellow Bruins, my name is Camille Serrano, and if you didn't know me, we kind of went to college together. Looking back at the college journey, there is several hallmark moments. There's the first time stepping on campus and breathing in the fresh air of stress and anxiety. There's the first college failed exam, followed by the second failed college exam, and a realization maybe procrastination doesn't work.
Focus.
At one point, we were all strangers, hopefully a little less strangers now that we're graduating. But through it all, we have combated homophobia, we have coped with xenophobia, navigated through systems of bureaucracy, raised children, and endured homelessness, all while progressing towards a higher education. As we each have our unique narratives, we as a collective have defied the odds of achieving what was considered impossible. By embracing our journey, we realize we are brave. We are bruised. We are undergraduate researchers. We are advocates for LGBTQIA rights. We are proud womanex of color. We are siblings. We are friends. We are parents. We are family. As we continue to shape the trajectory of our lives, we must continue to foster community to create social change. We are Bruins, and we are the class of 2020.
Hello, Gender Studies class of 2020. Professor Boo and I are here to congratulate you for graduating. Professor Boo and I, we'd like to say that you are graduating in the midst of unprecedented circumstances and that we are so proud of you. All cats are beautiful. Black Lives Matter. Congratulations.
Friends and fellow graduates, I think I can safely speak for us all when I say, how did we get here? Just a few months ago, my mom was trying to get me to coordinate graduation dresses with her. And now here I am, all dressed up in my quarantine finest with nowhere to go, speaking to you through a screen, wanting to inspire you when the world is on fire. And honestly, I'm sad and mad and disappointed, and I'm sure a lot of you are too. It feels like we went skydiving, and then right before we jumped out of the plane, our instructor turned to us and said, There are holes in all of your parachutes. Good luck. And then we jumped anyway, because we paid a lot of money on Groupon for these tickets. But here's the thing. There are no other group of people that I'd rather free fall with. These years with you, being challenged and embraced, struggling and succeeding, being tired but pushing through, becoming radical feminists while gossiping about our professors' personal lives, trying to figure out how to get them to invite us to brunch so we can talk about intersectional feminism over frittatas and fresh fruit. That last one, that was probably just me, but still, it's all been so amazing and wonderful and good. And it's not easy being a gender studies major. Every day we deal with painful realities about systematic oppression that sometimes feels so much bigger than us and impossible to overcome. But I've seen you tackle these issues with intelligence, compassion, grace, humility, and wit. And those are exactly the traits we need when the world is rebuilding. I am comforted in knowing that you all will be out there, taking everything that we've learned and using it in whichever jobs you enter, to be teachers and leaders and disruptors, and to confront the ideologies and systems that would seek to oppress us and privilege the few. In summation, the world, whatever it may look like in the months and years to come, is better with you in it. Now, I'm not naive. I know the effects of time and distance, but I hope that we keep this little community intact, even in times of failure and success, because I genuinely believe that together we're going to find a soft place to land. Thank you to the department as a whole, to our professors, and congratulations to the class of 2020. We did it, y'all!
Girl, don't do it. It's not worth it. I'm not gonna do it, girl. I was just thinking about it. I'm not gonna do it. I did it.
Hi, I'm Samantha, the undergraduate advisor for the Department of Gender Studies. We made it! Finally. I hope you're taking the time to celebrate this amazing accomplishment. Even if you're alone watching this from your computer, you are the one who have made this journey. Not me, not your professors, not your friends or family. It was you. Don't forget that. And as you move on from today and go out and do the amazing things I know you're going to do to change this world, don't forget that. Trust the process that you have the power to change anything. I love you all. I wish you the best, and I'm sending you a big, warm hug. Congratulations to the class of 2020. Celebrate.
Congratulations, class of 2020. I am so proud of you. I am so happy for you. This is an important moment, a milestone in your adult life, and I hope you take the time to celebrate it with your loved one. You are graduating into challenging times, but I know you have the tools and the strength to weather the challenges that come your way. Right? I believe in the power of gender studies education as a tool to create social justice, as a tool for social transformation. And you have those tools with you. You have the knowledge, and I hope you take the tools, knowledge, and strategies that you have into your communities and create that change that we need and want to see. Right? You are our future, and the future is now. So here's to you in all your glorious graduation, right? Here's to you. I wish nothing but happiness, joy, success, and health for you. Go celebrate with your family. Go have fun. Our bodies can hold a lot of different emotions, even in the most challenging time. So congratulations.
To the UCLA graduating class of 2020 and the Department of Gender Studies, congratulations. We made it. I think it's safe to say that this isn't what any of us had in mind for our senior quarter. I think we imagined a lot more time spent outside and with friends, celebrating all of the incredible things we've already achieved. Every heated in-class discussion, every difficult reading, every late-night, last-minute paper has all come down to this. And this really wasn't what any of us had in mind in terms of a celebration. But I don't think I know a better group of people ready to face these difficult times. Being a student of gender studies here at UCLA has given me the opportunity to encounter some of the bravest, most compassionate people I've ever met, because that's what it takes to be a gender studies student. It's an incredibly difficult field of study that forces us to look at all of the oppressions we deal with day to day, to regard our own privilege and to regard those around us with a more understanding view. But that said, it also teaches us that there are ways to change the world around us, that it's been changed before, and that we can continue to do so. And I have no doubt that you will. Spending these few years with you in class or out of it has shown me what an incredible group of people you are and how very fortunate I was to be around you. I am so proud of all of your accomplishments and all those that are yet to come. Once again, congratulations.
Hi, my name is Jenna Miller-Von Ott, and I am the Department Manager for Gender Studies at UCLA, and I want to wish the class of 2020 a big, humongous congratulations. You're all amazing. You're going to go out there and you're going to change the world, and we can't wait to see what you're going to do next. Here's a fun fact about me. I have a 60-pound African sulcata tortoise, and she has major UCLA pride.
Let's go Bruins.
My name is Van Do Nguyen. I am the Senior Administrative Analyst at the Department of Gender Studies. Congratulations, class of 2020. I know you will all be successful in any endeavor you choose to pursue. Best wishes, good luck, congratulations.
Hello, Gender Study class of 2020. Bianca Bouchame here. I just wanted to take the time to say congratulations! I'm just really happy and really excited for you. You did the thing. You got a degree in gender studies. You had the difficult conversation around race and gender and sexuality, colonialism, capitalism. You did all that, and you were able to transform the way in which you think, the way you perceive the world. And, you know, you often hear the phrase, children are the future, you know? Well, they're talking about you. You're the future. So go out there and make some feminist, queer, anti-colonial, abolitionist futures for us all. And a quick shout out also to the PhD grads. Sa, Minju, I see you. Congratulations. And well, this one's for all of you. Little disco. Come on. Don't forget to celebrate.
My name is Professor Joshua Guzman, and I have the distinct honor this year to present the awards on behalf of the Department of Gender Studies to the graduating class of 2020. First, we'll start with Gender Studies Research Prize for Excellence. This year we have two amazing projects to be awarded. The first is Helen Zong, nominated by Professor Judy Han for her amazing graphic memoir entitled Roots. The second is Camille Serrano, nominated by myself, Professor Joshua Guzman, for her project, Beyond the Lived Experience, examining the institution of motherhood and its impact on the psychic life of queer second-generation Asian Pacific Islander women. The department would like to congratulate both Helen and Camille on their amazing projects this year. Second, we'll move into Gender Studies Community Engagement Prize. This prize is awarded to activists and organizers in the department, and this year we have three amazing students which the prize will go to. The first is Jazz Broughton, second, Brooke Helmick, and third, Samara Saif. These students are really exemplars of what the department stands for, and we congratulate them on their community activism and organizing, and are so pleased by their work here at UCLA. This year we have a handful of amazing honors projects, which I'll go through briefly. The first is Melissa Tapia Cortez, who was advised by Professor Judy Han. Melissa has been awarded high honors for her project entitled Constructing Criminality, Undocumented Women, Transformative Justice, Interpersonal Violence, and the State. This project utilizes intersecting disciplines such as law, immigration, criminal justice studies, and anti-carceral feminism to analyze the predicament affecting undocumented Latinas in Los Angeles, and prioritizes the experience of women within this demographic, along with the professionals working in legal clinics and nonprofits, in order to envision a future in which justice does not lie within the hands of the state. Second is Azizas Todd, who was advised by Professor Julianne Anesi. Azizas has been awarded high honors for her project, The Logic of Eugenics, Policing the Black Disabled Body. Azizas traces the logic of eugenics and its influence on policing and dealing with mental disabilities in the Black community. Third, we have Samar Saif and Pamela Mongo Gwen Ramos, advised by Professor Sharon Tarweek. Both Samara and Mongo have been awarded high honors for their project entitled Desi Muslim Kapapananga Philippines Biomimicry, Queer Femme Transmutations, Mirrored Fatalities, Cocoon Webs. This collaborative thesis examines their individual autoethnographic work utilizing some qualitative interviews, some quantitative data that all inform their performance Cocoon Webs, which sought to give us a praxis for producing a liberatory organizing framework for marginalized communities. And now, lastly, we have Camille Serrano, advised by myself, Professor Guzman, for her project. Camille has been awarded also high honors for her project, Beyond the Lived Experience, examining the institution of motherhood and its impact on the psychic life of queer second-generation Asian Pacific Islander women. In this intersectional project, Camille weaves testimonials from queer second-generation Asian Pacific Islander women with an analysis of contemporary media representations of motherhood in order to give an account of their psychic effects on marginalized communities. The department would like to congratulate all these students for their amazing efforts in research and community engagement, and these students are really great examples of the work that we do here in the Department of Gender Studies at UCLA. Congratulations, class of 2020, and to the awardees this year.
Hi folks, this is Professor Corkman sending you a big congratulations on your graduation from Gender Studies at UCLA. I am sending you the wishes that all the feminist wisdom you have acquired during your education at UCLA Gender Studies accompanies you in difficult, challenging, as well as joyful times, and keeps giving you hope, strength, and the ability to fully live and critique and enjoy this crazy world.
Howdy folks, this is just a short message of congratulations to our 2020 Gender Studies graduate students, and certainly just a hello and I miss you terribly for my students that I was able to serve as a TA for. I just want to reiterate that it was an honor and a privilege to get to be a part of your life, even if it was just for a short 10 weeks. If you see this, I promise you I remember you, so please email me, send me messages. I miss you all terribly. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud that you came through this program during this moment, because I think that it really gave you the tools to be able to talk to people about what's happening in the world right now in really productive and I hope transformative ways. I am endlessly proud of you. I am endlessly proud to be a part of this department, and I'm so glad that that's something that we share. So I'm wishing you the absolute best and wishing you health and wellness. I miss you.
Hello Gender Studies seniors. I'm Richard from the Gender Studies main office. I want to congratulate each and every one of you on this amazing achievement. You did it. Now, on to the celebration. Congratulations to the class of 2020.
It's now my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Claudia Peña. Claudia received her JD from the UCLA School of Law, where she specialized in the Epstein Program in Public Interest Law and Policy and Critical Race Studies. She is a former director of the California Civil Rights Coalition, where she focused on the state budget and progressive taxation policies, voting rights, racial justice, equal opportunity, and coordinating ballot initiative efforts. She's also a co-founder of Repair, a health and disability justice organization. Claudia now teaches in the law school, offering courses in disability rights law and trauma-informed lawyering. And most of you know her from her gender studies courses on gender, race, disability, and the law. We're delighted she agreed to speak to you. Here's Claudia.
Friends, family, and most importantly, fellow human beings. I'm so elated to share this time together. Let's start by paying honor to the traditional land stewards of where I stand right now, the Tongva, people of the earth. We remember those who came before us, and we recognize those who are still here with us right now. As this is such a sacred transition in your lives, I want to pay tribute to the wisdom of centuries of Tohu and indigenous people everywhere who sat by the fire to storytell. So I want to use my time to talk story with you. It's a story about you and about me and about all of us. It's a story about the way things are. This is a story about Julicia. Julicia works at the Community Center for Healing Arts. At 5 feet tall, she is small but mighty as one of the center's most accomplished healers, stemming from a long lineage of practitioners gifted in helping people reconnect back to their core and connect to Creator. She uses a variety of healing modalities ranging from somatic arts to art therapy, from family constellation work to cranial sacral practices. Though all the healers at the community center are in their blueprint, meaning they are doing exactly what they were created to do, Julicia is particularly intuitive about her work. So it was no surprise when they chose her to work with little Jade. Jade lost both their parents to a car accident where they watched them die. The incident pained Jade so that they were left without the ability to speak. Essentially, they went mute, kind of like a caged bird. Jade was an only child to parents who had migrated here alone with no other family, in part to bring them to safety. Jade was small for a 10-year-old, an earnest child with a moon-shaped face and big, brown, bottomless eyes. In years past, this young child might have been ignored or forgotten or probably even fallen through the cracks, and all of that pain from losing their parents, watching them die, might have festered like a dream deferred, as Langston said, or maybe even exploded. Before, when people experienced deep pain and had nowhere to heal, they often ended up dead, lost, or as part of the trauma to prison pipeline. The harshness of a people that have short-term memories for white-collar crimes and the memory of an elephant for people who repeat cycles of violence they themselves experienced as children. But because the law called People and Land Over Profit Act passed, and police and military were defunded in the United States, leading to a global movement in favor of healing, not incarceration, services, not policing, our young Jade, they got the chance they needed. Are you wondering if this story is true? Of course it is. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't make it any less honest. So back to our story. Thanks to the center, Julicia slowly got Jade to come out of their protective shell, especially by using art therapy and nature therapy. There had been a time when everyone was forced to stay inside out of mutual care for vulnerable people. So our society relearned to treasure our environment and the land. They started growing stuff, and a new and deeper relationship was born with Pachamama, such that people understood, if you take care of her, she takes care of you, because Earth is a healer. Little by little, Jade started to interact and then speak, and then they had so much to say that they became an advocate. And thank the goddess, because Jade went on to write the Earth Code. They did this because the vehicle their parents died in was one of those fancy, cutting-edge ones that came to the market well before all the unintended consequences had been contemplated. And the technology failed because it had only been imbued with bigger, faster, more, and had none of the spirit of protecting the preciousness of life and natural resources. So, in collaboration with community groups, Jade drafted essentially a Hippocratic oath that everyone takes at the age of 10. People commit to do no harm as they pursue any and all endeavors. Where innovation and imagination are still, and rightfully so, encouraged, needed, expected, the Earth Code was drafted to confirm people's connections with one another and with the land, to understand that we are a community of the commons, where people and land come before profit. The hypercapitalism that almost destroyed Earth and nearly forced her to kick humanity out, that was replaced with a focus on holistic well-being for both the individual and the collective. How did this happen? How did we get from there to here? How did we go from being a world leader in embodying the carceral state that punished people for poverty, self-medication, and trauma-induced nihilism, to building centers on the land where jails and prisons once stood? How did this happen? Well, lucky for you, I know exactly how. As you know, there are the super sheroes, superheroes, and super theyros made up of everyday folk who marched, supported, funded, spoke out, talked to their families, and provided mutual aid and nourishment to each other. But let us be clear and candid. There was a group, a special group of humans. They were the supernovas of 2020. They really made it happen. They came of age during a period of sustained crisis. So much tragedy and pain, both physical, spiritual, and economic, sociocultural. And as they looked around and assessed the havoc of the world burning around them, they drew a line in the sand. Did they cower in the face of the immense grief all around them? Did they fold themselves up, become the smallest version of themselves, only to fade away in the silence of an action? Oh no, dear friend, they did not. They dug down deep. Oh, they dug down deep and deeper until they reached the limitless resilience which was their inheritance. Together, in a cacophony of resistance, they raised their voices to say, "Not on our watch." The supernovas, they realized they needed help to turn the world right side up again, as Sojourner had dreamed of. So they stretched their collective right arm to connect to the knowledge steeped in ancestral memory, into what centuries of wisdom can offer when civilization has been met with impending doom on countless occasions. They knew their forebears had also faced crisis. Their foremothers and forefathers survived. They organized. They strategized. They won. They evolved. And so, the supernovas knew it would be for them as well. And they stretched their collective left arm to their progeny to find fortitude in the responsibility they had to their descendants. They understood that we do not inherit this land from the past. We borrow it from our future. They let that responsibility for those yet to come be the fuel they needed when weariness threatened to consume them. So that duty to their kin, both past and future, it served as the bedrock for rolling up their sleeves and getting the work done of building that other world that Miss Roy heard breathing on quiet days. The supernovas knew what to do. They were the ones who had studied that which needed to be known in order to build a new world. They understood that sometimes we must speak up, even when our voice shakes, because Sister Lord told us. They knew that Black lives matter, and that trans lives are precious, and that no human is illegal. They could break down systems of power and oppression like no one else. They knew that if they're scared to be wrong, they'll never create anything original. They knew that white supremacy could be, and should be, and would be dismantled, and in its place would stand dignity and power for all. They knew that there is no such thing as neutral, as Brother Tutu told us, only accomplices. They knew that building systems and institutions around the needs of the most vulnerable would mean that everyone benefits. They knew that silence is violence. They knew that binaries lack creativity, And that which is socially constructed can be reconstructed or deconstructed or even unconstructed. They were the ones that knew that you must bring your own tools if you want to build a new house, and you must sharpen them yourself. So they went forth after this deep study, and they pursued vocations that were consistent with the blueprint of their person. They did not allow mainstream narratives to inform their decisions. They intentionally nurtured that voice, that one true voice inside of them that knows the answers. And they consulted with people they trusted to further refine those choices, but they did nothing. I repeat, nothing simply because they felt obligated to. Instead, they did what lit their fire as they offered up their service to the cause. And they went out into the world and they became designers, musicians, teachers, artists, storytellers, scientists, farmers, researchers, innovators, creators, architects, poets, scholars. And they transformed justice to be of actual benefit to humans. And they became healers, like Julicia. They built it because they could. Congratulations, class of 2020. You are the ones we've been waiting for.
Congratulations to the class of 2020. I'm excited about all of the ways that you are going to change knowledge production and activism and work of all kinds. And I look forward to the ways that you're going to help us reimagine new ways of thinking and being in the world and being with one another. So thank you for all of your work. Congratulations again, and all of my best.
Usually I have people who can help me put this on. Hi everyone. Congratulations, class of 2020. Congratulations, you did it. Congratulations, Gender Studies class of 2020. You did it. I don't know how you did it. It's been an incredibly surreal and difficult quarter, difficult school year, and obviously you all know that. Why would I say that? Congratulations, class of 2020. It's been a pleasure getting to know some of you, working with you, and I wish you the best in the coming years. You did it. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Hello, class of 2020. Juliana Nessie here. I just want to wish you a warm congratulations, and I hope you are proud of what you have accomplished. Cheers to your future endeavors, and also to a safe and fun celebration with your family and friends. Congratulations again, and go Bruins.
Congratulations to everyone. Your graduation reminds me of mine. It was a special day for my mother and my uncle. My mom hadn't finished high school, but she wanted me to have a good education. She had a lot of jobs. She did sewing at home. It was called being a piece worker. She was also a telephone operator doing shift work. My Uncle Cecil, who was so nice to me, quit school in the 5th grade to help feed the family. He started delivering newspapers, and he did that the rest of his life. At Berkeley, my first roommate was Judy. We're still great friends. Her grandfather had gotten a Pulitzer Prize for poetry. My grandfather was illiterate. Judy and I taught each other a lot. Well, I hope you've learned a lot at UCLA and that you've formed great friendships. So I congratulate you and I celebrate you. Bye-bye.
Toda la noche rompemos, al otro día volvemos. Tú sabes cómo lo hacemos, baby. This is the rhythm of the night. Baby, tonight's like fuego. We better spend the dinero.
Congratulations, class of 2020. I personally think that you have earned not just 1, but about 5 degrees for making it through such a challenging year. But you not only made it through, You showed each other and your families and the world the power of feminist study and struggle. And to the Black graduates this year, I know that this has come with distinct struggles and distinct triumphs, and I admire your perseverance and your talent. The class of 2020, you have made history, and you are moving us closer to an abolitionist, feminist future. Thank you, and congratulations.
Hi everybody, this is Professor Purnima Mankekar. I would like to congratulate the graduating class of 2020. You're graduating not just with degrees in gender studies, but you're also going out into the world as participants and witnesses in some major world historical events that are occurring. The first, of course, is the COVID pandemic, which has brought to the fore inequalities that we've known have existed all along. This is also a world marred by police brutality and repression by a white supremacist state. As you go out into this world with gender studies degrees, know that you have the tools to not just understand what is happening, but also to change this world. I want to make special note and give my heartiest congratulations to Minju Lee, whose dissertation committee I've had the pleasure and the privilege of chairing. Minju's dissertation, titled Transnational Intimacies, Korean Television Dramas, Romance, Erotics, and Race, is an absolutely brilliant investigation of the way in which race, gender, and sexuality shape women's interpretations of Korean television dramas. This dissertation was based on ethnographic fieldwork that Minju carried out with tourists, or rather fans of Korean television dramas, who traveled to Korea because they were so inspired by these dramas that they wanted to get into sexual relationships with Korean men. Minju is on her way to the position of a visiting assistant professor at Wellesley College. Minju, we will miss you, but we wish you every success. Stay in touch.
Hello, my name is Minju Lee. This year, I'm graduating with a PhD in Gender Studies from UCLA. It took me 6 years to receive my PhD, and during those 6 years, I've never regretted starting on my PhD journey. Although I cannot name all the names in this video, there were countless people who helped make my PhD journey so enjoyable and worthwhile, and I thank them from the bottom of my heart. As I head to Massachusetts to begin a visiting lecturer position at Wellesley College, I'll make sure to remember all the lessons that I learned at UCLA and to treasure all the memories that I acquired alongside the amazing people in the Department of Gender Studies. Lastly, to any of the students who are in my classes and are graduating this quarter, congratulations on getting your bachelor's degree.
Hi, my name is Juliette Williams. I'm a professor in the Department of Gender Studies, and it is my immense pleasure to have served as the chair of the doctoral committee for Saw Whitley, who has just completed a brilliant dissertation, The Collective Come Up, Black Queer Placemaking in Subprime Baltimore. Congratulations, Saw.
My name is Saw Whitley, and I'm graduating from UCLA with a PhD in Gender Studies. I want to start by acknowledging the Tongva peoples, who are the traditional caretakers of the land on which the university resides. There are so many people and communities that have been a vital part of my academic journey. My family, biological and chosen, my parents, Linda and Raymond Whitley, and all of my brothers, all 3 of you, and all of my queer siblings across the globe. You give me wells of resilience and inspiration day in and day out. Thank you all from Maryland to North Carolina to Virginia and elsewhere. I want to thank the Gender Studies community, students, faculty, and staff for your strident dedication to bridge theory and action, to draw on and cultivate feminist, queer, and anti-racist epistemologies as we learn from and participate in social movements like the Black Lives Matter movement and the student movement across the UC campuses for a cost of living adjustment. It has been such an honor to learn, write, think, break bread, dance, and organize with you all. Thank you for imagining a world without prisons, borders, homelessness, and the gender binary. A world that decriminalizes sex work, a decolonized world, and a world in which we can build powerful coalitions across difference. I am so grateful for and fiercely inspired by the members of the Black Feminist Initiative Working Group through CSW, the Undercommons Freedom School at UCLA, the Labor Union UAW 2865, and other social justice comrades across campus. I have been incredibly grateful to complete my dissertation, The Collective Come Up, Black Queer Placemaking in Subprime Baltimore, with generous feedback, words of encouragement, and brilliant provocation from my committee, Professors Juliette Williams, Shireen Razak, Robin D.G. Kelly, and Hannah Appel, and Yuri McMillan. This was truly a dream team. Thank you all. As an advisor and mentor, Juliette has gone above and beyond, and her dedication to her students is unparalleled. Thank you for rigorous training, your generosity, your respect, and your friendship. I also am immensely grateful to the communities I organized with, volunteered with, and marched with in Baltimore, including Brioxy, Dovecote Cafe, Unite Here, and the Baltimore Transgender Alliance. In Baltimore, intellectual community with faculty and students while teaching at the Maryland Institute College of Art, while visiting in the Department of Anthropology at Johns Hopkins University. Thank you for your welcome and your engagement. In Baltimore and LA, I extend thanks to healthcare providers, community healers and witches, and other nourishing support groups. I have also had the immense pleasure and support with friends whom I write with in community. To name a few from the spring quarter, Lena, Rahel, Mary, Savannah, May, Jamie, Taryn, Bianca, Marika, Asmara, Cheska, and Jay. Thank you all. I truly appreciate the gender studies staff for their work that anchors our feminist community, Samantha Hogan, Richard Medrano, Jenna Miller Von Ah, and Van Du Nugent. UCLA Gender Studies PhD students practice an ethics of community care and collaborative knowledge production that I can only hope to find in future academic homes. I hope to stay connected with you all as I join the Pembroke Center for Teaching and Research on Women at Brown University as a postdoctoral research associate during the 2020-21 academic year. Thank you so much.
in New York, to people in California, to people in Memphis, to people all across this nation. Enough is enough.
Walter Scott, say his name. Walter Scott, say his name. Walter Scott, say his name. Walter Scott, won't you say his name? Jermaine Reed, say his name. Jermaine Reed, say his name. Jermaine Reed, say his name. Jermaine Reed, won't you say his name? Philip White, say his name. Philip White, say his name. Philip White, say his name. Philip White, won't you say his name? Say his name.
And a thunderous, resounding, united voice that we have no intention of stopping this fight until we have eradicated every single remnant of racism in this country.
Hearty congratulations to this graduating class of 2020. They'll perhaps call you the graduating class of the coronavirus quarter. Maybe they'll call you the class of the protests against police brutality. I will call you all of those things. Embrace the label. because I want to remember the courage and resilience you showed. I'm so proud to have been one of your teachers. The memory of the commitment you brought to your studies makes me know you will be all right. And more than that, you'll change the world for the better. Congratulations to you and to the friends and families that supported you throughout your studies. A special shout out to the racial violence class and the race and space class for extraordinary commitment and brilliance. All the best, Shireen Razak.
I hope you enjoyed hearing from your fellow majors, our PhDs, our staff, and your professors. I want to extend a special thanks to Esha Momeni, who recently received her PhD from our department, for producing this recording. Gender Studies graduates, it has been our pleasure both to teach you and learn from you. We can't wait to see what you'll achieve next. Congratulations, class of 2020.